Jesus tells a story about two builders. These builders represent two different approaches to life and the choices we make. One builds his house on sand. It might seem easier and quicker, but it lacks stability. The other builds his house on rock. This requires more effort and time, but it provides a strong foundation. The rains come, the floods rise. Nature tests the strength of these houses. The winds blow fiercely, the house on the sand collapses, unable to withstand the storm. But the house on the rock stands firm. It remains unshaken because of its solid foundation. Why? Because it was built on a strong foundation. The effort put into building it pays off in times of trouble. Jesus says the same is true for our lives. The foundation we build on determines our resilience. If we hear his words and obey them, we are like the wise builder. We take the time to build our lives on solid principles. We build our lives on a solid foundation. This foundation supports us through life's challenges. But if we hear his words and don't obey them, we are like the foolish builder. We neglect the importance of a strong foundation. We build our lives on shifting sand. This makes us vulnerable to the inevitable storms of life. We all face storms in life. These storms can come in many forms: sickness, job loss, relationship problems. These are just a few examples of the storms we encounter. When these storms come, we need a strong foundation to stand on. Without it, we risk being overwhelmed. We need to have built our lives on the solid rock of obedience to God's word. This is the key to enduring life's challenges with strength and grace. Abraham faced a difficult and heart-wrenching test. God asked him to sacrifice his beloved son Isaac. This was a huge test of Abraham's faith. He loved Isaac dearly more than anything. Yet Abraham obeyed God. He took Isaac to Mount Moriah and prepared to sacrifice him. Why did Abraham obey? Because he trusted God completely. He believed that God would provide, and God did provide. At the last moment, God stopped Abraham. He provided a ram to be sacrificed instead of Isaac. Abraham's story is an example of true faith in action. He didn't just hear God's word, he acted on it. He obeyed, even when it was difficult and painful. James chapter 2 verse 20 says, "Faith without works is dead." What does this mean? It means that true faith is more than just believing in God. It's about acting on that belief. It's about putting our faith into practice every single day. Think about it this way. If you say you believe in something but you never act on that belief, is it really real? If you say you love someone but you never show them kindness or affection, is it really love? True faith is alive. It's active. It's demonstrated through our actions and how we treat others. Obedience that unlocks blessings. Obedience is a powerful act of faith that can transform our lives in ways we might not expect. Abraham's obedience unlocked God's blessings. His unwavering faith and trust in God's plan set a profound example for generations to come. Because he was willing to sacrifice Isaac, God promised to bless him abundantly. This act of obedience was not just about the sacrifice, but about the deep trust Abraham had in God's promises. God said, "Because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore." Genesis 22:16-17. This promise was a testament to the boundless blessings that come from true obedience. When we obey God, we open the door to his blessings. Each act of obedience, no matter how small, is a step towards unlocking the fullness of God's promises in our lives. Obedience is not always easy. It often requires us to step out of our comfort zones and trust in God's greater plan, even when we don't see the full picture, but it's always worth it. The rewards of obedience are far greater than the challenges we face. When we trust God and follow his plan, he promises to bless us in ways we can't even imagine. These blessings may not always be immediate, but they are always abundant and fulfilling, enriching our lives beyond measure. Your step of faith. What is God asking you to do? Have you felt a nudge in your heart, a whisper in your soul, urging you to take a step forward? Is there an area of your life where you need to step out in faith? Perhaps it's a decision you've been putting off, or a dream you've been too afraid to chase. It might be something big, like Abraham's test, where he was asked to trust God with everything he had. Or it might be something small, like sharing your faith with a friend, offering a word of encouragement, or simply being there for someone in need. Whatever it is, don't be afraid to take that step of faith. Remember, every journey begins with a single step, and each step brings you closer to where you need to be. Trust that God will provide. He sees the bigger picture and knows the path ahead, even when it seems uncertain to us. He will give you the strength and courage you need to obey Him. Lean on His promises and let His word be your guide. Remember the words of Jesus. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Build your life on the solid rock of obedience. Let your faith be the foundation upon which you stand, unwavering and strong. With each step of faith, you are building a life that reflects trust, hope, and unwavering belief in God's plan for you.